web developers here. Like anyone familiar with JavaScript? Okay, so that's a bit sad because my demo will be mostly on Firebase in web because it's easier. So nevertheless, I think you can pick it up. So let's talk about Firebase. How long does it take you to build your project? Normally, 1 sec. Any backend developer here? None? So, normally if you're working with a web application, this is your normal infrastructure. So first you have your client side, you have your Android or your website, and then you also have your servers, and then you also have your database. So for your servers, you have to write backend code. There are several technologies that you can use. Probably, even until now, the most famous is PHP. Anyone familiar with PHP? Yeah. So there are other backend tools that you could use. Personally, I use Python, Django, and some people currently Express and Node is also very famous. And then for your database, there's also several options. Say for example, you have MySQL. Anyone familiar with MySQL? So you have MySQL, you have Postgre, and then NoSQL is famous nowadays, so you also have MongoDB. So that means if you want to build an application, you have to learn either Android, iOS, or some cross-platform technology. You have to learn PHP, or Python, or Node.js, and you also have to learn MongoDB, or SQL syntax. So that's too much. I just want to do a to-do list and then be able to share it to everyone and have persistent storage for my data. So why don't we just drop the servers and drop the database? Is that even possible? Yes, it is possible using that Pokemon. And then who's that Pokemon? That's Firebase. So Firebase is basically a backend tool for all your mobile and web applications. And it's very, very scalable. It's hosted on Google servers, so if you think Google servers can't handle your traffic, you should probably think twice. It's I don't know how many search queries goes to Google nowadays, probably billions. So Firebase can be integrated in your mobile platform or on your web applications. And then it's very easy to do. Just go to console.firebase.com and then create a new application. Once you created the new application, you can just click a button, and then there's for web applications, you can just copy the JavaScript code snippet, paste it in your HTML code, and then you already have Firebase. So Firebase has a lot of features. First is authentication, next is database, next is storage, hosting, functions, and just recently it's added MLKit, but I won't talk about it. MLKit is basically just making TensorFlow available in your mobile application so you can do AI stuff natively in your mobile application without using the cloud. So first, let's go hosting. Biggest problem for new developers is that they can't share their application that they built. There's no very good feeling of sharing what you built to other people because it's all running in your local host. You can say to a friend in another island and say, hey, can you check out my application? It's very cool. Can you visit localhost colon 8000? It's not available there. But Firebase, with just one line of commands, Firebase deploy, it will be available on the internet, and then other people can use it. So it's running on Google's servers, and then it's easily deployed. At the same time, it's deployed on CDN, Google CDN. Anyone familiar with CDN? So CDN is short for Content Delivery Network. So basically, what it does is it caches your application across multiple data centers all over the world. Say for example, you have a client from the Philippines, most likely he will be getting your application from Singapore. If you have a client that's in Africa, maybe he's gonna be getting the data or your content from a data center in Africa. So that's what CDNs are for. That makes your application load very, very fast. Probably almost instant, depending on the internet connection, of course. Then next is SSL certificate. Like nowadays, it's really, I would think twice visiting a website that's not running on HTTPS. You normally don't see websites that's not on HTTPS nowadays because like, that's your first layer of protection, how to protect your data. So Firebase hosting just provides SSL for you right away. And also it's very easy to do. To get started with Firebase, first you have to install Firebase tools. To do that, just do npm install -g Firebase tools, and then you initialize a project, Firebase init, and write some code, of course, and then you Firebase serve so that you can go to your local host and see your running application. And then when you're ready, or even if you're not ready, you can just say Firebase deploy, and then your website is going to be available in Firebase's app subdomain. And then after that, you can buy your own domain and then connect it to your hosting portal, and then you can just say it's now available in Lodovice.com. So that easy. And then first, our second authentication. So every application, or probably 99% of all applications, needs user login because you need users and you need to know who your users are. Typically, it's very hard to implement, and then there are even libraries out there to do authentications. And then nowadays, a lot of users just use their Google account or Facebook account to log into your application. So Firebase knows that, and then it provides an authentication service with integration with several providers. Now it's available in Google, Facebook, Twitter, and GitHub. So by just enabling authentication on your Firebase application, you can already allow people to log into your application using their Google account, Facebook account, GitHub account, Twitter account. And you will see that later. And then third is storage. So nowadays, you can't really see websites without media content. If Wikipedia has tons and tons of like videos or images, everyone will be smart. Nowadays, when you do a Google search, you open Wikipedia, you just read the first paragraph and then you're done. Because it's very, very boring. So you have to have like media content on your application. And then you can't just like store that in your local host again. You need some storage somewhere. So that's what Firebase storage is for. With just a few lines of code, you can upload files to Google servers and then it will be available online. Very easy. Then fourth, database. So database is used for storing persistent data. For, say for example, a user uses your application in your internet cafe, logs in his account, and then he needs to be able to store his data so that when he logs in to another computer in another internet cafe, he sees the same thing and still gets access to his data, because if not, then you can just use local storage if you don't need that feature. So Firebase database currently has two options. One is the real-time database. That's the first one that came with Firebase when it released. It's old. The newer one is called Cloud Firestore. So it's a better version of the real-time database, except that as of right now it's currently in beta. But you can still use it if you're not scared. So we'll be talking about that later as well. And then Firebase database is cloud hosted. So unlike MySQL that you have to install to your computer so that you can just test on your local, it's just available as long as you're connected to the internet. And then next is it's a NoSQL database. So everything is stored as documents and then grouped together as collections. So basically it's just JSON. And then it has a real-time feel to it. So what is real-time? Normally if you write applications, you have a server, right? Whenever you want the newest data possible, there are several ways to do it. And then the most common one is called long polling. Familiar with long polling? So what you do is like every second you send a request, hey, is there a new data? No. Hey, is there a new data? No. And you just do that every time. And then another one is the WebSockets approach. That's the more complicated one, which allows servers to send data to the client right away. So real-time database is kind of like, I'm not sure how it's implemented, but maybe it's WebSockets. So what you do is you just add an event listener to some document that say, hey, if there's a new document, run this code. And it just works every time. And then lastly is functions. Cloud functions are basically just ways to run some backend code without managing servers. So, do you still need backend code if you have Firebase already? Well, yes. You need backend code because there are several things that is just not possible without writing backend code. For example, if your user uploads an image and it's 2 gig, no, not 2 gig. Say 3 MB, 3000 by 3000 px image. And then without processing that image, are you sure you want to be serving that image to all your clients? Downloading a 2 MB image every time they load the page? So normally what Facebook or other services do is that they have a background task that pulls that image and then resizes it and then uploads it, and then that uploaded image is the one that's served to the client. So if you don't have some backend code, that's not really possible because you can't run image processing inside the browser. And then another possible scenario is, for example, you have payments feature. Normally, when you have payment integration, there's this thing called secrets that you have to have so that your data is protected. No one can do payments in behalf of you. If you do that in the client side, that will mean that you'll be exposing your secrets to the other people, and then other people can just do payments on behalf of you. So you have to do that in a very secure way, and then that can be done using cloud functions. And that's it. Thank you for listening. So let's see some demo first before we leave. Alright, let's look at code now, because we're done with the boring part. So, when you run, when you see, guys, can you read? Of course you can read. I'm just not sure if you can see. If you run Firebase in it will generate like a boilerplate project for you, and this is pretty much it. And then I can't click. It's fine. So you have an index of HTML 404 and some files. And then when you run Firebase serve, supposedly that will run your application on your localhost. And then yes, it does. Then you can visit that. I am having trouble with my desktop. And then that's the default application that Firebase Init makes for you. You can deploy that right away if you want. And then I don't know how to resize that. Okay, so that's that. So you can deploy that right away and share it to your friends. Like, hey, I made an application that's really good. It's called Firebase. And if they don't know, then they will believe you. So that's it. Then next, let's try to check all those features that I talked about in probably less than 200 lines of code. Let's stop that because I won't be live coding. It's a trap. So this is an application that I tried to do. Again, disclaimer, I am a backend developer, so expect that expected. So we just run Firebase serve on our local, and then we will see how beautiful a web page is designed by backend developer. And so there, it has a login button with a login with Google. So now let's make that button work. Very nice. Very nice. Thank we just add with the help of our friend jQuery. Let's just add a click event listener to the button, and then as of right now, I only did support for Google login because it does not require you to create a new Google app. Your Firebase application is already a valid Google app. If you want login through Facebook, then you have to create a Facebook app using developers.facebook.com. And nowadays, it's not so fun because of the tragic event that happened to Facebook with the data leakage and all that stuff. So it's not so easy anymore. So first, we initialize the provider. We say, I want to log in with Google, and then I want to get the profile of the user and at the same time the email, and then I want to initialize the login process. So just say Firebase.auth, sign in with pop-up, and then pass in the provider, and then let's console.log the results. So let's try that, and then it doesn't work. There you go. It's working there. And then, supposedly I have logged in, I think. And then there you go. I have my information here. So I am Emmanuel Lodovice, and that's my email. And here's my password. They don't know that. So that's it. And then, of course, you want to react to the login process. So you want to know if the user has logged in or not. And then at the bottom, we uncomment some code. So here we say that if there's a change in the state of the authentication, we run this code. And then it passes in an argument called user. So if there's a value for user, I want to redirect to my actual page that does something. So that's my product.html. So we uncomment that, and then we refresh. And then see it redirects to product.html because there is already a user automatically. So that's authentication. Like how many lines of code was that? 6. Probably less. And then authentication in Firebase works by using web tokens. So no more cookie and stuff. So you can actually see that here. So Firebase stores a lot of information about you on the local storage, and then it uses this to recognize who you are. So that's authentication. Next, we go with file upload using Firebase cloud storage. So what we are doing here we have a file input type field, input file field. So in that change, we just create a reference to the Firebase storage, and then I appended in some date information so that files don't get overwritten every time if I reuse the same image. And then it should be stored in /images / the current date and the name of the file. And then I trigger a put, I call a put event. So it will initiate the upload process. And then when that's done, I want to get the URL of the uploaded image and then preview it in this image tag. So simple. Let's try that. So now it's uploading, and then now it's uploaded. And then that is already uploaded in cloud storage, and as you can see, it's served somewhere. So that's file upload. How many lines of code was that? Less than 5. Next is database. So we have a form here, as you can see, and then we want to save that. So to do that, we just uncomment some lines of code. I know it's that easy. So what we're doing here is we are initializing Firestore, and then when the form is submitted, we format a JSON payload. So basically, the image is just the URL of the image that was uploaded, and then the name is the name field here, and then the cost is the cost. And then some timestamp, just to know like when then we add a new document, and the data should be the payload. So to do that, let's say then, and we get the post, and then
Nothing happened.
nothing happened. Kaya wala na nag-refresh. Wait, balik na. We uncommented the code but did not refresh the page. And then nothing happened. But something happened actually, I think. I hope. So we go to our console, and then this is not the right one. Wait. So sorry. Then in our database, hopefully we have a new record. So there you go. You have your name and then the timestamp and the image and the font. So minus the formatting part, that's just technically 3 lines of code. You can already add a record to the DB. And then next, we need to fetch data from the DB. To do that, we again uncomment some code. So what we're doing here is in collections, we order it by timestamp, and then we just get the two most latest product, and then we render them in our template. So this is just HTML, don't be scared. So that's just HTML that we append in our products div. So let's refresh that. And then there you go. These are the existing products that's available in our database. And then we fetched it using just this few lines of code. And good. So that's super easy and fun. Okay. Next, we want it so that every time there's a new record added, we just insert that new record in our HTML right away. So to do that, we enable uncomment some code. So to enable new record, so what it does is, so we store the latest. So we have like the latest one here, a reference to the latest. So anything newer than the latest, every time there's something added newer than the latest, so that's the on-snapshot event, we run this code. So it has functions, basically this is just the gist. So the change is the data that's added to your database. So you say if change that type is added, meaning, because the same event is fired if like the data is changed. So we only run it if it's added. And then we add that new data to our HTML. So
I think you need to connect
and then upload new so if we post this, it's already like added right away to your HTML. So see, you have new already added in your list. So next is, so that's pretty much it. We have setting, adding data to the DB and then fetching data from the DB. Next, we will talk about cloud functions. So cloud functions are basically just backend code again that you run in a managed server. So the cloud functions are in the functions folder, and it should be in your index.js. So any function that you export is going to be considered cloud function. So what we're doing here is we are integrating cloud functions with our Firestore. So every time there's a new record added in orders collection, we run this code. So technically, ideally what we're trying to do here is the payment part. So every time there's a new order added, we try to say get the payment information of the user and all that stuff, and see if he can purchase, if he has credits or that. But here we're just randomizing if it's a number from 1 to 5. If it's 1, meaning the user can buy the product. If it's not, he can't buy the product. So this is already deployed, I think. So if we click buy here, supposedly this will work. Maybe not. And it failed. So if we look at our database, okay, so what that button does was just add a record in the orders, and then it run the Firebase Cloud function, and then it added the status failed. So as you can see here. And then in our code, we just made it so that after adding a new record, we listen to changes to that record, and then reflect that change to the UI. So notice here that we click add, and then we have a snapshot, and then we listen to changes to that snapshot, and then update the button. And let's do it again here. And just fail. So this type of like architecture is like a workaround of REST. Are you familiar with API or REST? So basically, normally on an application, you send HTTP request with a response and all that stuff. But here we're not doing that. There's no single HTTP request or AJAX request done in our client. What we're doing is we make our real-time database the bridge between our client and our backend. So, thank you for listening, and so again, I'm Emmanuel Lodovice,